The stadium lights glow. The countdown begins. And somewhere in the quiet of the night, millions of football fans whisper the same promise to themselves. Just this one match. The World Cup brings excitement that few events can match. It gives us suspense, pride, connection, and unforgettable memories. But while our eyes stay fixed on the screen waiting for that decisive goal, doctors warn that something else may be happening behind the scenes, inside the body itself. What feels like harmless excitement for one late night may quietly become a hidden burden when repeated again and again. For many middle-aged and older adults, staying awake through extra time, penalties, and post-match discussions can place unexpected strain on the heart, mind, and immune system. And the truth is, the body keeps score even when we are cheering for our favorite team. Tonight, we are not here to take football away from anyone. We understand the joy of watching history unfold live, of celebrating with family and friends, and of refusing to miss the magic of the World Cup. But there is something important we rarely talk about. Our bodies follow an internal clock, a natural rhythm that guides sleep, hormones, energy, and recovery. That clock does not pause for kickoff, and it does not adjust simply because the match is too exciting to miss. So before the next whistle blows, let us look closely at what doctors say can happen when late-night football becomes a habit, and how we can enjoy every match while still protecting the health that supports us every single day. The problem often begins quietly. One late-night match does not seem dangerous. You stay awake until 2 or 3 in the morning. Enjoy the excitement, finally sleep for a few hours, and tell yourself you feel fine. But during a World Cup season, these nights can repeat again and again. And this is where doctors begin to raise concern. The human body is designed around a powerful internal timing system known as the biological clock. This clock helps regulate when we feel sleepy, when hormones are released, how blood pressure changes, and even how the immune system repairs and protects us when we stay awake far beyond our normal bedtime, especially under bright screens and emotional stimulation. This rhythm becomes disrupted. At first, the effects may feel small: slower mornings, heavier eyes, or irritability. But beneath the surface, the body may already be working harder than we realize. One of the first systems affected is sleep regulation itself. Normally, as evening arrives, the brain releases melatonin, a hormone that gently prepares the body for rest. But late-night television, bright phone screens, and emotional excitement can interfere with this natural process. Football matches are rarely calm experiences. Our heart races during attacks, we tense during penalties, and adrenaline surges during dramatic moments. Instead of gradually preparing for recovery, the body may remain alert and stimulated long after the final whistle. For middle-aged and older adults, this disturbance can have a deeper impact because sleep becomes lighter and more fragile with age. Many people already struggle with nighttime waking or difficulty falling asleep. Adding repeated late nights can make healthy sleep even harder to restore. The next concern involves stress hormones and the cardiovascular system. Football is entertainment, but the body sometimes reacts to emotional intensity as though it were facing real stress. During tense moments, hormones such as adrenaline and cortisol can rise. These hormones help us respond quickly, but they also increase heart rate and blood pressure. A dramatic match may leave fans emotionally energized, sometimes long after the game has ended. Research has shown that emotionally intense sporting events can trigger measurable cardiovascular responses, particularly in individuals already living with heart disease or high blood pressure. This does not mean watching football is dangerous for everyone, but it does remind us that excitement is not completely separate from physical health. For someone with hypertension, previous heart problems, or chronic stress, several nights of excitement combined with sleep deprivation may create an unnecessary burden. Imagine the body like a hard-working goalkeeper. Most days it blocks pressure, adjusts quickly, and protects us without complaint. But if the pressure continues without enough recovery, even the strongest goalkeeper eventually tires. Another hidden effect of staying up late involves blood sugar and metabolism. Many people do not realize that sleep plays an important role in how the body handles glucose and energy. Poor sleep can affect insulin sensitivity, making it more difficult for the body to regulate blood sugar efficiently. This matters especially for adults living with diabetes or prediabetes. After a late-night match, people often crave sugary snacks, instant noodles, fried foods, or sweet drinks to stay awake. Combined with sleep loss, these eating habits may push blood sugar higher and leave the body struggling to regain balance. Even individuals without diabetes may notice heavier fatigue, stronger cravings, and less energy after several disrupted nights. The body is asking for recovery, yet we often respond by demanding more stimulation. Mood and mental clarity can also suffer more than many fans expect. After insufficient sleep, the brain does not operate with the same efficiency. Concentration may decline, patience becomes thinner, small frustrations can feel larger than usual. Some people describe feeling emotionally sensitive, forgetful, or mentally foggy after repeated late nights. Sleep is not simply a period of inactivity. During sleep, the brain organizes memories, clears waste products, and restores emotional balance. When this recovery time is shortened, daily thinking and mood may be affected. For older adults, protecting cognitive health becomes increasingly important. While one missed night is unlikely to cause major harm, repeated sleep disruption over time may place unnecessary stress on memory and mental performance. This becomes particularly noticeable when people continue normal responsibilities the following day without adequate rest. Driving, making decisions, or managing work while sleep-deprived can become more difficult than we realize. The immune system is another quiet player affected by lost sleep. Many viewers notice that after several nights of poor sleep, they become more vulnerable to colds or feel generally run down. This is not imagination. Sleep supports immune regulation and recovery. During rest, the body produces and coordinates important protective responses. When sleep is repeatedly shortened, these defenses may not function at their best. The result may be slower recovery, increased fatigue, and a greater sense of physical depletion. The body does not always protest loudly. Sometimes it simply becomes less resilient. This is why doctors often remind us that health is protected through consistent habits, not dramatic interventions after exhaustion has already built up. So does this mean we should stop watching the World Cup? Not at all. Football brings joy, community, and emotional connection that also matter for well-being. The goal is not to create guilt around enjoyment. The goal is balance. There are practical and realistic ways to enjoy the tournament while respecting the body's needs. One helpful strategy is choosing matches intentionally rather than trying to watch every single game live. Many fans feel pressure to keep up with every result, every highlight, and every discussion, but protecting sleep sometimes means selecting the matches that matter most to you. Watching highlights or recorded replays can still preserve enjoyment without demanding repeated sleep sacrifice. Another useful approach involves preparing the body before a late match. If you know a game will end very late, a short daytime nap may reduce fatigue. The key is moderation. A brief nap can refresh energy without interfering too heavily with nighttime sleep. Hydration is equally important. Excitement and caffeine often distract us from basic needs. Many fans drink several cups of coffee or energy drinks to remain awake. But too much caffeine late at night may make recovery sleep harder afterward. Instead, consider drinking water regularly and limiting caffeine closer to bedtime. Food choices matter as well. Heavy fried meals and sugary snacks may feel comforting during a match. Yet they can leave the body sluggish, and digestive discomfort may interfere with sleep once the game ends. A lighter meal with balanced nutrition often supports both alertness and recovery more effectively. Recovery after the match deserves attention too. Some people finish a late game and immediately begin scrolling through highlights, social media debates, and post-match analysis for another hour or two. The mind remains stimulated and sleep becomes delayed even further. Creating a calmer transition after the game may help the body settle. Lower lighting, stepping away from screens, and allowing the nervous system to unwind can support better sleep quality. Most importantly, listen honestly to your body. Many of us push through fatigue because we do not want to miss out. But persistent exhaustion, headaches, dizziness, palpitations, or worsening blood pressure should never be ignored. Enjoyment and health do not need to compete against one another. In fact, protecting health allows us to enjoy these moments more fully and for many years to come. Think of the World Cup not as a reason to neglect the body, but as an opportunity to practice balance. Cheer loudly, celebrate beautiful goals, share the excitement with others, but remember that the body supporting those celebrations deserves care too. The strongest teams know recovery is part of performance. Perhaps we should remember the same lesson for ourselves. There is a moment many football fans know well. The match ends, the stadium noise fades from the television, and the house becomes quiet again. Maybe your team won and your heart is still racing with joy. Maybe they lost and you sit there replaying missed chances in your mind. But before you move on to the next highlight or scroll endlessly through reactions online, pause for a second and consider something important. Imagine your body as your most loyal teammate. Every day, without applause or headlines, it works for you. Your heart beats faithfully. Your lungs draw breath without complaint. Your brain carries memories, decisions, and emotions through every stage of life. It asks for very little in return: nourishment, movement, and rest. Yet unlike a football team that can rotate players and rest between matches, your body has only one lineup. And when recovery is ignored too often, it eventually sends signals we cannot overlook. Sometimes those signals arrive quietly: heavier mornings, slower thinking, rising blood pressure, fatigue that feels harder to shake. Other times they appear more suddenly, reminding us that exhaustion is not merely a feeling but a message. This is not meant to create fear or guilt. Football is joy, passion matters, shared excitement matters too. But perhaps the real lesson is not about choosing between health and the World Cup. It is about refusing to sacrifice one for the other. The best supporters protect what they love, and that includes protecting the body that allows them to celebrate, cheer, laugh, and create memories with the people around them. So as this tournament fills our nights with drama and unforgettable moments, remember something simple but powerful: recovery is not weakness. Rest is not laziness. Even elite athletes understand that performance depends on recovery just as much as effort. And our bodies deserve that same wisdom and respect. So what should we remember from today? Staying up late for World Cup matches may feel harmless, especially when excitement runs high and the atmosphere feels electric. But repeated sleep disruption can quietly affect the body's natural rhythm, placing strain on sleep quality, stress hormones, heart health, blood sugar balance, mood, and immune function, particularly for middle-aged and older adults or those already managing chronic conditions. The good news is that enjoying football and protecting health can absolutely exist together. Choosing important matches carefully, staying hydrated, eating lighter foods, managing caffeine wisely, and allowing proper recovery afterward can make a meaningful difference. Health is not protected by perfection. It is protected through small, consistent choices that honor the body over time. And now we would love to hear from you. Which national team are you supporting in this World Cup? Have you ever stayed up all night for a match you simply could not miss? Share your story in the comments below and join this conversation with fellow football fans. If today's message reminded you to enjoy the tournament more wisely, please like the video and share it with someone who never misses a late-night match. Until next time, enjoy the football, celebrate the memories, and take good care of the one teammate that never leaves your side: your health.